Hi there, welcome to Made by Granat. My name is Anna and I am a junk journal creator and I live in Sweden. So if you hear something strange about my dialect, it's because I'm a Swede. Okay, it is Wednesday, you guys, and on Wednesdays I do a video called Use It or Lose It, where I try to use up my stash. And today I'm just gonna do random things. So a bit of what's ever on my desk. So yesterday I received my calendar for next year. I always use a Leuchtturm. I believe that's how it's pronounced. Leuchtturm. Well, I won't try it again. And a B6 monthly thing, and I love it. I've used it for like 6-7 years, and 6-7, and I absolutely love it. And in a Leuchtturm, there's always lots of little extra papers. Among one of them is this. It's a little thank you note for buying the product, and it's in lovely cream color cardstock, and I love the back of it, so I'm gonna cover the front and make this into a journal card. Was my idea. I'm sorry, I still have a sniffly nose. This darn cold isn't going anywhere. So I have some things here that I thought could work. Let's see where I put that little pile. Here, obviously that's too small. Okay. This is a genuine piece of scrap from when I was a kid, I believe, in the 70s. No, this might be right. No. I'm gonna hold this up to the window. That might work. That's too big. That's too big. Okay. These are all stuff I picked out for my Christmas journal I'm currently working on. So I'm gonna put this to the side again, somewhere. So let's do this. I'm gonna take my little cutter to see if I can get this down to size, because this needs some cover. This is has just been cut out of a book, and I want to use the image. So let's get that down. So how is everyone today? Wednesday, December 10th. That's a good party in December, and actually today is Nobel Prize Day. As you may know, the Nobel Prize is awarded. The award ceremony is in Sweden. I love this. I'm gonna put it down. I'm just gonna ink around it first. It's in Sweden. It's in Stockholm tonight. So we have lots of prize receivers in Stockholm, which is not where I am. I'm 3-4 hours away from Stockholm. Gather twigs is the ink of the day. That was, oops, what was on top? That needs to be, yeah, so except for the Nobel Prize in Peace, the Nobel Peace Prize, which is awarded in Oslo, because that was in Alfred Nobel's will. I saw a really interesting documentary about him the other day here on TV or on my computer when in my room, and I was so fascinated. I had no idea. His father was also an inventor, so they invented lots of things, and the economy went up and down. Some things went good and some things were not as good. And he wanted to make, not Alfred's father, but Alfred Nobel, he wanted to make a gunpowder that didn't smoke, because, and he wanted it to be used in different situations, not just in war. I have to reposition this, I see, because I want the text to be covered. Anyway, and in wartime, there was essential that the gunpowder didn't smoke, because if it smoked, you would be more easily detected by the enemy. So that was something he was working on almost his entire life. And when he actually invented the dynamite, it was a big thing. And he lived in France most of his life, and Germany, not so much in Sweden, just the last years actually. And he was quite lonely. He had a great love, I believe, and that was a woman called Berta, and she was German or Austrian or something, and she actually was peace. She was working for world peace. She was actively working for it and quite famous. And so she actually got the Nobel Prize, of course, after he died, because it wasn't established until after, when they read his will. But she was quite famous, and she was writing lots. She started writing like love stories, and then she went on to writing quite famous books about peace. I am trying to figure out what the book is called in English. I know what it's called in Swedish. I can Google it really quickly on my computer, which is there, because this was really interesting. She was Austrian. Let's see if I can tell you guys about her. She was a baroness, and she was born Countess Kinsky, and she and her mother was kind of thrown out because she wasn't the marriage of her parents weren't approved by his family. So, and she lived much of her life moving from place to place, and she was a governess at times, and then she was his Alfred Nobel's companion as a secretary for a while. I love this. This is a nice journaling card. Okay, I'm happy with that. I'm so sorry. Next thing I have on my list and on my desk is this. This is a piece of scrap from Tim Holtz wallpaper, Christmas wallpaper, and this is too small to do anything with. I believe I have used a piece of it to do something else, and this is an offcut. So I thought, why not just make this into a little notebook? Because it would be a perfect thing to put in a pocket, right? So let's find some papers. I have a bunch of scraps here. Anyway, back to Berta. Berta von Suttner. She married von Suttner, and that made her a real... She got more status again. And she wrote novels, and she was a pacifist. So she was really famous for her peace lectures. She was the first woman to receive the Nobel Prize, and especially in peace. And the first one from Austria. Excuse me. She was quite beautiful as well. She lived in Vienna also. I'm trying to see what her book was called, because that is kind of... There she is. I'm trying to see it. It's really famous. And she actually was a part of establishing the International Court of Justice in Hague, which is quite cool. The Hague Peace Conference as well. She was the only woman to attend that one in 1907. And she Die Waffenschneider is in German, but what is it called in English then? The World Encyclopedia of Peace? No. No. I am trying to see. Shows. This is quite rambling. I'm sorry. Anyway, it was really interesting, as you can tell, film about Nobel, and I was really happy to see it. And I was also pleasantly surprised about this woman, because I've heard of her, but I haven't, read anything by her. And then I realized I have a first edition of her book, and it's called, I have it in Swedish, Lay Down Your Arms. That's what it's called in English, and it was published around 1906 or something. Really interesting reading. She was so much ahead of her time, and yeah. So this turned out to be a history lesson. Sorry about that. This is just wrapping paper from, like, not at Amazon, but kind of a Swedish version of Amazon. And I am so sorry about my stuffy nose. I didn't feel this when I started this video. But now it's all of a sudden it's overtaking me. Well, maybe I can make this a short and sweet one. I don't know. I'm just trying to get the papers in here, and then we can, I think I'm going to staple this one. I haven't done that in a while. I usually sew my little mini journals, but I think I'm going to staple this one. Okay. Maybe I should do, you can see the lines are green on these papers, which is fun, I think. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So 16 pages in this little book, perfect to keep in your purse or something when you are going shopping or making shopping lists. I'm going to stuff it in a pocket in one of my journals. So I'm just going to use some paper clips to hold it in place, and then I hope I can staple it. I don't think my tiny stapler will work. No, I can already tell that it's too small. I'm gonna get the bigger one. Just gonna stand up and look in the cupboard above me here. There we go. And let's see if we can try and get this kind of in the middle. Kind of in the middle, shall we? I'm gonna try and... Sorry about my head. Well, in the middle-ish. I'm gonna have to cut this down a bit because I can see that it is going outside the edges. Maybe I can use the cutter to do that. Let's try. That works quite well. So this is a nice little quick thing to make and put in pockets in your journals. I bet you all do it, not just me. Sorry about that. And that's, there we go. Cute. I am going to round the corners because I think it needs that. It needs to be rounded to make it look prettier. And maybe I can put something on the outside of it to decorate this as well. If I have something that's small enough. These are way too big. I'm just going to see if I can find, if I have anything smaller lying here on in my little pile of things. No. Oh, I have the Timmy stuff. Let's look at the Timmy stuff. Mr. Timmy. And we need a smaller one. Oh, with the cute reindeer. Oh, I was so sad the other morning. I was going to work and suddenly the traffic stopped. Oh, that's cute. And I was standing in line for over 10 minutes in the middle of the road. And when I started moving again, and we drove so slowly, and it turned out it was a poor moose that's been hit by a car, and it was still alive, and so sad. You could see the sadness in his eyes, and it was, oh, horrible. That will stay with me forever, I can tell you. Santa Claus Snow, that will be it, yes. No more auditioning. Let's do a little bit of inking around this as well. Yeah, so that was a sad day. That's fun. Okay, let's add some glue to that. You know I'm using a glitter glue. Yeah, so what else can I tell you? I watched the Nobel movie. It was not a movie, it was a documentary, but it was so interesting. And now I saw yesterday evening, when I was at the same channel, they had published another documentary about Jane Austen that I am really looking forward to watching this weekend or something. Yeah, that's straight-ish or not, but I'm gonna leave it. Okay, we have now done two things in a little bit of moments, a few moments. Just getting a sip of a drink. Next thing on my desk is this. This came in a paper pack from Jacqueline at Souvenir de la France. I buy lots of paper packs from her because she has the best antique and vintage French stuff. And this is really beautiful. It's from a December calendar from 19... It doesn't say, but it's old. Probably 1901 or something. I think I remember that. And it is quite fragile, so I can't use it as is in my journal. But I was thinking maybe I can back it and either make it into a tuck spot or make it into a tip-in or even hinge it to something else. I don't know. But I'm going to use the fly leaves from the book that I'm currently working on. These And I think I'm going to use the thinner one because then we get, it doesn't bulk up the journal as much. So I'm just going to glue this down on this paper and then cut it a bit to size. You see how fragile it is. This will be, it's a miracle if I manage to do this without breaking the paper. I'm letting you know right now. Because I am a heavy inker and a heavy gluer, and I have torn more than one pieces of paper in my days as a crafter, even on camera, while both inking and gluing. So okay, that seems like it went well, but let's see if we can put it down as well. Okay, so far so good. I'm going to turn this around and strip on the back side so I don't accidentally tear it while scraping. That would be real bad, especially now that I managed to glue it without hurting it. Okay, I need a little bit of glue over here. So get that corner down. And now we are going to cut it to size. Yeah. Just a little sliver on this side. I can see it's like a hair, dog's hair, which, by the way, are everywhere. My dog is shedding one of them. She just pretty much finished shedding her under her, because I have two furs. They have a wool underneath and then the long hairs above it. I have Finnish Laplands, and the fur is kind of helping them to control the heat or the cold, so it keeps them in a good temperature. And he just he puts his under fur or undercoat everywhere right now. It doesn't matter, he doesn't like to be brushed, but even if I brush him a lot, he still manages to get it. I brush him, I vacuum the entire house, and when I turn around, he's sitting there, there's flying fur out of from his back or something. This is great. Now it's a bit more sturdy, and you can journal on the back. And I think I kind of like this. I could cut it down, but I think I'm gonna fold it. I'm gonna need to score this, and I have a scoreboard, but I don't know if it's big enough. This one is quite small. No, it's not big enough, but I can turn it around, I hope. So I was thinking, if I score this and make a fold, then I can glue this down and make it into a tip-in, but then I can also edge punch this side to make it look a bit more what's it called, you know? Now it will be another. There we go, that's better. Edge punch it, so it will be a pretty tip-in. So now I'm trying to fold this. Nice. Okay. And I'm gonna get my edge punch. Just have to decide which one I want to do. This one. I have two edge punches. So I'm going to do this side, and I'm gonna try to be over here so that I can just toss the don't know if you even call this scraps. Trash. I like doing it this way. I know you can match the patterns here. I think you can. And try and... Okay, that works as well. I want to see it, you know. See what I'm doing. Oh, that worked as a charm. Good one. Now I know that. So just putting this into my little basket. Okay, so now we have a tip in for the journal, which I will glue down here, and then it folds out. You can journal on the back, and here we have a lovely punched edge. Pretty. That's 3 things done. Do I dare make one more? Yes, I do. I want to make a big paper pad to put in the back of the big journal I'm currently working on, the Santa's Ledger. So I'm afraid I'm gonna have to open these. I could have done that beforehand, I realized, but I'm gonna open these and go through them and see what I have. I have all the years, I think. The 23, 24, 25 and 22. So I'm going to pause you guys and get the papers out, and then I will be right back in a second. There we go. I wanted to do that without you hearing it because I know some people really dislike the sound of these plastics. So I'm just going to try and be quick and decide which one I want. That one is an option. Since it is Santa's Ledger, it would be fun to have something kind of commemorating that. And I know you can see the small pictures of this on the back of the packages, but I think it's easier to decide when if you actually this one is really good. You should actually see them. That one is really good as well. I'm gonna link to that one. I'm just gonna try and be quick. I have done this once before in a video for another big journal. That's the same. Let's use this one. Okay, that was a quick decision. So I'm just going to move these to the side. And you won't have to listen to that anymore. Sorry about the cracking. There we go. I'm going to use this because it has a plaid on the back side. Now I have to decide which one I want in the front. If I want the plaid. I want the ledger. I think I want the ledger. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use my scoreboard again, twice in one video, and I'm gonna score it at 1.5 inches. There we go. I'm gonna fold it. Nice. I am going to, if I can find it again, around the edges here in the front. The corners, not the edges. Now we're gonna take some papers and fit them in here. And then I'm gonna make a, I'm gonna make a pad, a paper pad. So that's nice. And I'm gonna use that as a template. Where is my pencil? There is my pencil. And I want it to be a little bit smaller so you can see the edge around. And then I also want it to be somewhere there. Okay. I hope this one will do the job, or I will have to take out my bigger one. So I'm gonna get lots of offcuts again, but you know what I do with those? I make the little notebooks. So what else is on the agenda today? Wednesdays I have my day off work, as I said before, and I try to enjoy myself doing different things. And I am actually going Christmas shopping with my eldest daughter Ellen today. A little bit. No grocery shopping because my husband and son, just this morning I drove them. They were going to a camp. Cross-country skiing is what they do, and they were going away, and they won't be home until Sunday evening. So it's just me and my youngest daughter home, and we are going to just relax. Tonight we are having a bit of guests. My eldest daughter has a friend at home who lives in Great Britain. He was here last year and then he lived with us, but today they're coming here because she has moved now. And I have promised to make falukorv, which is really traditional Swedish dish, which he loved when he was here last year. Sorry for laughing because it's so fun. Look at this. This will be great. Yes. Yay. And now I'm going to paper clip this because I'm going to make this reusable. I'm so sorry about my sniffly nose. Yeah, I'm going to make it reusable. So there will be falukorv this evening, and that's already purchased. I'm going to measure, and I'm going to make 2 holes, and I'm going to put brads in. And I got these cute brads. They look like snowflakes. So I thought, why not use them? I've had them for years and years. So let's use my Zero Center journal from Mr. Tim Holtz. That's the center, and then we want 2 and 2, and then we want it about the same height as well. Can you believe it? It was the same height. My eye measurement must be improving with age. Eyeballing, that's what it's called, not eye measurement. Eyeballing has improved. I am going to use my crocodile at the smallest and make the holes. Oh dear. I'm going to use a white pen, I think, because I can never see this without it. If I have one, here's one. I have one of those jelly roll thingies. Maybe it will be easier to see. And then on tomorrow I am going to a Christmas party at work, which will be fun. I hope I'm feeling better then. And she will be eating by herself, my youngest daughter, before she goes to her practice, volleyball practice. And on Friday she will have friends over making pizza. Oh, look at this. Ta-da! Oh, that's so cute. And if you flip it, you will find the ledger. I'm going to make a stamp down here. I just decided. These are new. I just bought these. Oh, where have I put the rest of the Christmas stamps? Well, I'm just looking in my stash. If I can find them. No Christmas stamps there. I have misplaced my Christmas stamps. Well, I'm gonna have to use these now. These are by Arden Creative Studio, which for me is a new brand, and I love that snowflake, but it's too big. I'm gonna do something like that. Or maybe, I have snowflakes here as well. Snowflake-ish. These are by Hida. Acrylic. Maybe I can put one of these. I used these in my bullet journal for years and years. And I could put one down here. Okay, let's try it. I'm going to use a piece of paper underneath, just because I do not trust myself. I can't even run it a bit over the outer the edge there. What color? What color should I do? Should I do gold or silver or red or blue or Well, another hard decision. Lots of running around today. Let's do medieval blue, shall we? Because snow is blue, right? Just gonna stamp it. Oh, that's pretty. And that run over the edge, and that's cute. I love it. Yay. Okay. That's a success, I think. Now, let's see what we have done, because we have done this for a long time now. We have made this paper pad with stamp and with the brads, and this is refillable. I like it. We made this tip in for the journal. Love it. We have done this little booklet that will be in a pocket in one of my journals. And we have made this little journaling card. This is a reproduction of a vintage postcard, Christmas card. Okay, so that will be it for today, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciated having you to talk to while I did this. And thank you for listening to my rambling about Alfred Nobel and Berta von Suttner. Yeah, I hope you liked this. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Let me know down below what you think. And I will be back soon with another video this weekend, I hope. Have a great rest of your week. Bye.